Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today I want to talk about my ultimate 3-lens kit I've put together for my Sony A7Cr. If you're new to the channel, I am a portrait photographer based out of Miami, Florida, and I primarily shoot with Leica and Sony. Ever since I got the Sony A7Cr, I have had a ton of fun using this camera, and I think it's the first Sony camera I've genuinely enjoyed using and taking with me everywhere. Part of that joy and part of me loving the experience with this camera is the 3 lenses I've been using and the kit I've put together for the Sony A7Cr. Now, I have to say I prefer prime lenses and I am not a big fan of zoom lenses, even though they have their place. But for this camera, I really want to put together a kit of compact lenses that covered a specific focal range. Now, you don't have to get the specific kit. You can get a variation of it, or you can go with different brands, but I think the goal here with this camera is finding small, compact, high-performing lenses that will give you the results, but won't tack on additional weight to this really small camera. So what are the 3 lenses I've been using? Well, I'll start off with the Sigma 24mm f2. This lens is actually the biggest of the bunch I'm going to show you, and it's one of the longer ones, but at 24mm, it's the widest lens I have on this kit, and it's the widest I personally like going. It really covers everything I need to cover, adds context to your images. At f2, it's a bright lens, and overall it checks all the boxes I want for a prime wide-angle lens. What's really cool about Sigma's I-series lenses is they're all made of metal and they all have aperture rings. I should start calling them Sigmacrons because it reminds me so much of the Leica Summicron lineup. What I mean by that is they're made out of metal, they have aperture rings, they're small and compact, and they're optically great performers. This 24mm is kind of the foundation of my 3-lens kit, which will then transition to the Sigma 50mm f2. Again, this is an f2 lens, so it's bright. It's a little bit smaller, so it's compact, and my favorite focal length. I've used this lens with Leica SL2, the Sony A7R5. I've liked this lens on all those kits, but I just love it on the Sony A7Cr because it gives me my favorite focal length, it's compact, and it balances perfectly with this camera. Again, the build quality matches the build quality of the body, and it's just a fun kit to use. Rounding out my 3rd lens is the 90mm f2.8 by Sigma, another I-series lens. This one's actually the longest lens, yet the smallest one because it's an f2.8. And that kind of covers my 24, 50, and 90mm ranges. What's cool is you can also choose, if you wanted to with Sigma, maybe start at a 20mm f2, add a 35mm f2, and then maybe go to the 65mm f2 if you want to go wider and not necessarily go as tight as 90mm. I think Sigma really nailed it with their I-series lenses, and for the longest time, it was kind of an interesting lineup because they're not necessarily budget lenses. They're not priced like that. They're high-performing lenses, yet they're not labeled art lenses. So they're kind of their own lineup. Like I said, we're going to call the Sigmacron lineup. And they right now really cover the entire focal range. And with smaller cameras like the Sony A7Cr, they're just a perfect match. And they balance so well with the cameras, and it makes them fun to use. What's really cool is I've been carrying these 3 lenses with me everywhere, and they're so lightweight that I don't really feel it. And that's really a great benefit because I'm really covering all focal ranges. I don't have a zoom lens, I have bright lenses, and I'm not being weighed down. Now, you don't have to go with Sigma. You can build out a kit like this with Sony. I think they have a 24, a 40, and a 50mm lens on their compact lineup. You can also get some Samyang compact lenses. You can really kind of go with any brand. I think the key here is finding a compact lens that's optically high performing and feels great in the hand with this camera. So, what do you think of my 3-lens kit? Have you used these lenses? Like I do in all my videos, I will be providing image samples for you to download so you can check out the image quality coming out of this kit, and would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As always, guys, please like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.